Well, I think people are interested in it because those are the best stories. You know, you look at all of our, the media entertainment. Those are the best movies, best shows, all that type of stuff. For us, look, we said it after the championship game that we didn't care. We really don't. I think what was important for us was to become a championship team. We weren't that in the spring. We're on our way. That's where we wanted to become. But in order to get to a stage like this and win a game like this, it's got to be real, and that's what you have to become. And that's what our focus was on. So, but it's great. People are going to talk. There's a lot of attention, and that's what makes the game so great. There's a lot of fans out there, and it's exciting. But that's out of our control. It's not how we operate on a day-to-day basis. So, the process has been a lot of fun. Becoming the team that we become has been an awesome journey.
Mike.
Well, this is the only time I've been here, so it's about, it's pretty sweet as it is. I don't know, nothing to compare it to.
Mike, congratulations on the great season.
Thank you.
What went into the process of hiring Clint Kubiak in the offseason, and how do you think he's had the impact that he's had on your team?
Well, there's a benefit of us kind of being out in front of it. So, and I haven't really had an opportunity to cast a wide net and talk to a lot of people. There's a lot of great coaches that were available last year. So, in a classic Mike fashion, took my time, probably overthought it a bit, talked to a lot of great people. I think as the process really unwound, it became very clear that, and Clint was the first person we talked to, that not only was he going to bring a great staff, it was a great plan. I think our visions were aligned on what we were trying to create, and just became very clear that he's going to be a great partner to work with. So excited for him. He's done a great job. It's been a lot of fun to work with him, and we got one more game to go.
Mike, congratulations on being here. Sam Darnold's career has obviously, he's had some difficult moments. He's had this incredible resurgence. I'm wondering what you've been able to do to help him get to this level where he's now got this chance to really dispel any of his critics' doubts about him, and how you're going about that for Sunday.
Well, Sam has got to this point. We're there to help, as with all our players, but I think Sam's story is a little bit more in the limelight than all of our stories, but that's made him who he is today, and I think he would share the same sentiment with you. I think our role in the whole thing is to be supportive, believe in him. There's a lot of things that we saw in Sam that we loved, and he's lived up to those things and then some. But as a coach, we have visions for our players, and it's about fulfilling that vision for Sam and who he can become. And there's going to be times throughout the year that you fall short and you kind of get back up and dust yourself off and keep plugging away. So, and Sam's been that steadying force. And so he's a resilient dude, man. Competitor, winner. It's been fun to be alongside him throughout the whole year.
Coach, hi, Contessa Brewer from CNBC. There's been a lot of publicity around the future for the team and whether a pressured sale is imminent. I'm just wondering, in your mind, what makes an ideal owner? Who would be an ideal owner for the Seahawks?
Well, to go with the sale and the ownership, from our perspective, nothing's changed from 2 weeks ago, or nothing's changed since I interviewed for the job with Jody 2 years ago. I'll say this. Jody is a fantastic owner, supportive, steadfast in what she believes and what she wants the Seahawks team to be and what it should mean to our community. And it's very clear on what her expectations are. And she can kind of see through the fog that sometimes maybe in the first year I had a hard time doing. And so to have that type of guidance and that type of support has meant a lot. And so I can say this, I love having Jody as our owner. She's been fantastic.
Hey, Mike, to your left here. Wanted you to shed some more insight into John Schneider. Obviously, a great reputation for years. Knowing what you knew about him before you arrived and now having worked with him,
yeah.
What's been the most striking thing about how he operates and how you two have been able to work together?
Yeah, don't be fooled by his aw shucks personality. He's as sharp as they come, and he seems like he's young because of his energy and his enthusiasm, but he's seen a lot of football. He's seen a lot of great organizations operate. He's got a very clear vision on what he wants to achieve. Man, what a great communicator. The spirit behind how he operates is is the Seahawks. You know, the brand of the Seahawks. John exemplifies that every day. Man, he is a awesome person to work with on a day-to-day basis. I look forward to seeing him every day. He makes it fun. He makes it exciting. He challenges you. I had a lot of mentors going through the process 2 years ago, and to a man said, "You need to go work with that guy." You know, and that meant a lot. And he's lived up to that and then some.
Hey, Coach, here. Pablo de Rubens from TV Azteca, Mexico. With all the noise and all the distractions during this week, how do you manage the weekly preparation for an important game like this one, the most important in the year?
Yeah, you try to be so steadfast in your process, and at some point, things are going to change, things are going to be different, and what doesn't change is our principles and the things that we're about on like a moment-by-moment basis. So my message to the team is, hey, look, we're going to be loose and focused, and that's how we roll. So the loose part is we're going to enjoy it. We're going to enjoy these moments. We're going to love being with our friends and family and enjoying our teammates. We're also going to be focused, like that we have an accountability to our process and the things that we need to do to go play our best. So
Hi, Coach.
That's going to be our process. Excuse me, sorry.
Oh, hi, Coach, over here. Congratulations on making it to the Super Bowl.
Thanks.
Funny enough, actually, today was exactly 1 year since the Rams indicated they would move on from Cooper Kupp. I was kind of wondering, could you kind of describe the process of getting Cooper Kupp onto the team, what he's meant to this organization? Some people thought he may have been past his prime. Could you kind of describe the impact that he's had, catching a touchdown NFC Championship, and just his resurgence, I guess?
Well, you knew Cooper Kupp through his reputation. Jake Peets is on our staff. He's got a great relationship with Cooper. When it was first, we made it a point to, I think whenever the first time we were actually allowed to reach out to Coop, I had him on the line and just said, look, we don't get a lot of opportunities to really acquire a player like you, especially early in our program. And what better player to bring in early than Cooper Kupp? And man, he's been, I use the term force multiplier. He's that with the receiver room. You can see it with the effect with a lot of our guys. Like Jax is obvious, but really the rest of our young receivers, and that's rippled all the way throughout the whole team, offense, defense, special teams, all three phases. He's helped me, and then to see him make plays in the championship game when the stakes are highest was really special. I'm really happy for him.
Hey, Mike.
Is it us?
Oh, go ahead, teammate.
You go first, though.
Mike, how would you describe the way, the benefit that you get as a play caller, the way you guys can get after a quarterback without having to blitz too much?
Makes my life a lot easier for sure. One thing I've learned over the last 3 or 4 years calling plays is when you build it right, you have faith in your players and you trust them, and they got your back as you're trying to have theirs, and that's how it works together. So a quick call is a good call.
Hey, Mike, Stacey Dale's NFL Network. If you had to scheme against Jackson, what would be the challenges? How would you pursue him, given how good he's been?
Can you put 3 guys on him? The thing with Jax, for your question, is it's like, okay, you could allocate 2 people to him, but he's got vertical speed too. And so is it in and out double? Is it a high low double? Okay, well now I do that. Now I'm lighting the run in the box. So our coaches do a phenomenal job of moving him around, and it's not easy to do. You got to learn all those different positions, and that's a tribute to Jax and Frizz, our receiver coach. He's done a great job getting them ready week to week. So there's answers based off how teams are playing us, and sometimes teams do a great job throughout the whole game, and other guys have to make plays. But man, he's been incredibly consistent and a great player for us the whole year.
Hi, Coach. Here.
Oh, thanks.
Congratulations being here.
Thank you.
So, of course, your defense has been important throughout the season, but can you flesh out why the defense is so important to win games in the NFL, especially the Super Bowl?
Well, right up my alley. I mean, I think our defense has taken a turn when we became more connected. And it's not easy to do that. Like last year, we were going through some adversity in the beginning to the middle of the part of the year, and it takes a leap of faith to really buy in and stick to the process of what we're trying to achieve. And I'm thinking of a meeting we had, and actually, ironically enough, going into our San Francisco game here last year, and we made a kind of a pact with each other, like we're going to be a great defense no matter what it takes. And they bought in, and it didn't happen overnight. Excuse me. but that's the type of stuff and the dedication it takes moving in the same direction to actually make this thing come to life. So, and of course, you gotta stop people. You gotta keep points off the board. You gotta control field position. You gotta affect quarterbacks. All those things are really important to win football games.
Mike, to your right, right over here. You guys have been one of the best second half teams in the NFL, specifically third quarter. And people talk about halftime adjustments or this or that, but I'm just curious what you would attribute that to.
Well, I think there's a few things. One, our players do a great job of adjusting. They're really smart. We talk about being relentless. Well, if you're going to be relentless, you need to do that for 60 minutes. And I'll tell you what, our training staff and strength staff has done a phenomenal job. The guys put together a great off-season program that we had a lot of attendance to, which has been reported, and that matters. To build those calluses up, and to do it the right way, and compete with your teammates is I believe it's better for you than kind of doing your own thing in the off-season, and that's put the guys in position to play great football for the entirety of the game.
Hi, Coach. Gianluca from Play Tusa, Italy. Seahawks fans are closer than Patriots fans. And do you think this can help you during the Super Bowl or a factor? And what do you think about them during entire season?
The question is what help me out again, I'm sorry.
The Seattle Seahawks fans are closer than Patriots fans, and maybe is in a major number.
Whether or not there's going to be 12s at the game compared to Patriots fans, that's the question?
I think that closer in proximity.
Oh, because they're closer. Oh, I haven't thought about it. Look, our 12s have they've traveled tremendously throughout the year. I mean, we're in Nashville. A bunch of fans are there. Carolina, we had a bunch of fans. They've been tremendous the whole year. We expect quite the turnout this game. I feel like you could put the game anywhere in the world and we'd have a heck of a turnout.
Coach, Mike over here. Given the potential for a rule change, Sunday could be the last time we see AJ Barner could be the last person to ever do the tush push.
Yep.
Can you just talk about how significant that's been for you guys all season and just kind of how significant it's been for the league over the past few years?
Well, it's one of those deals like, look, you got to understand the rules and try to play by them better than anybody else. For us, it's been a really effective way to get a yard. And, in high leverage games and high leverage situations, yards matter, especially in short yardage. So AJ's done a tremendous job. Our coaching staff has taken a lot of commitment throughout the whole season to really, kind of master the ball handling and secure the football, which has been great. And the guys like it. The guys like running that play. I know AJ does.
Mike, a lot of people are idolizing you, football players, people who are playing in the Super Bowl. I wonder, who do you idolize as a kid?
Wow. Look, my heroes are my sisters. My sister Maggie's 4 years older than me. My sister Kate's 6 years older than me. And they were like, they could do no wrong. Anything they did, I followed them. They played soccer in high school. I went to all their games. I just thought they were the coolest people ever. Now just like what they're able to do with their families and their careers and kind of doing everything, and just excelling, just being great people. I really look up to them to this day. So they're my heroes.
Mike, over here. Congratulations on winning the conference championship and reaching the Super Bowl.
Thank
Jesse
you.
from Channel 2 here in the Bay Area. Normally when you come into town, you're playing a difficult division rival, whether it's here or up there. How surreal is it, if it is at all, that you're here for the Super Bowl and so you get to enjoy being in the Bay as opposed to coming into enemy territory where you're going to have, hostile crowd, et cetera?
Yeah, the context is significantly different. We're staying in a different hotel. We're in a different area. We're really just kind of in the scope of game process throughout a week. So it's been a great setting. The people here have been awesome. Hotel folks have been great and welcoming. But at the end of the day, you could have put this thing anywhere, and our process and mentality probably would be about the same.
Coach, you're back on the right. What would you say is the most or the toughest lesson in leadership that you would learn maybe under somebody that you had coached under that's kind of shaped your approach in your first year with Seattle here?
Well, this goes back to college. I used to think of leadership as a position and like a position of power. and you tried to look sweet and, you know, get high-profile stuff and get big-time jobs and all that. And, like, it became very clear to me very quickly it is not about you, and it's about how well you can serve the people that you're surrounded with. And so you don't know everything, and there's people around you that do, and it's about getting people aligned, moving in the same direction, empowering them. And when you do that, it's a pretty powerful thing, and it's a lot of fun.
Mike, back right over here. Just wanted to ask you about the fact that you've got the youngest roster, or the third youngest roster in the league right now, built primarily through the draft, but you've had some key veteran additions either via free agency or trade. Coop, Lawrence, Williams, a few of these guys. Why does this mix work as well as it does?
Well, I think first of all, it's a masterclass by John and our personnel folks. A lot of coaches have had a lot of input on especially through free agency and this draft in particular, that when you have a shared alignment about what type of team you want to have, what type of people you want in your building, I think that streamlines that process. But the common thread are guys that love the process of doing football. And to their credit, they bought in and really they're doing it for the guy next to them, you know, and that's a connected group that we're proud to say that we've been able to build over the last year or so.
Mike over here. Authorities this morning, law enforcement, announced that there's going to be no ICE enforcement operations in and around the Super Bowl or any associated events. That's obviously going to please Bad Bunny. Is it going to please you?
I haven't thought about that 1 second. If you know anything about me, I'm thinking about our football team and getting them ready to go. So, yeah, no comment on that.
Mike, you had you mentioned the 49ers game here last year as a moment where you talked about you're going to be a great defense.
Yep.
What was it about that game, that moment, that point in the season, of why that message was delivered?
Well, I think at this point or that point last year, we were kind of a little bit on a roller coaster. There's some ups and downs to the season, facing some adversity. We had some turnover in our roster, so I just think we're at an inflection point of where we want to go. And so I think it just that was the time for us as a group to really say, okay, look, this is what we're trying to create. Doesn't matter what it's going to take. Let's be committed to the process. Let's go make it happen. And to the guys' credit, they've done it. Our coach has been phenomenal with it. It's been a wild journey, and it's been a lot of fun.
Mike, to your right, as you know, it's believed that there has not been a defensive play calling head coach to win the Super Bowl. I realize you've got other things on your mind, but what do you make of the opportunity to become the first?
Brady, you know me, I just want us to win the game. And so, and put us in best position we possibly can to win the game. If we win it, that'll be the last thing on my mind. I'll be really happy for the 12s, for our players, coaches. That's going to be the stuff that really means, that's going to be special to me and really the rest of the crew.
Last question. Yeah, D. Orlando Ledbetter, Atlanta Journal-Constitution, Coach.
All right, shout out.
Hey. You mentioned Coach Rick and Coach Harbaugh last night. Who are some of the other influences in your coaching style? And then what do you have to say to the young folks back home that might want to get into coaching in the high school ranks and below?
Wow. I mean, every coach that I've worked for has really made a tremendous impact on me. The first one, Coach Mike Cloy was my high school coach. Xavier Smith was my high school coach. I worked for him at Cedar Shoals. Coach Smith taught me how to, grow up and take responsibility for your life, honestly. Toughened me up for sure. I think he can vouch to that. All those men that I work for, they walk the walk and they talk the talk. And so when you talk about men of integrity, men of faith, that back up what they say and are about the right stuff, those guys, that means a lot. To have those type of role models in your life, and people that are trying to get into coaching. It's like if you're passionate about teaching and learning and growing, and you're about that type of stuff, stay true to it, man. Just go for it. Just go for it, no matter what you're going for. There's no such thing as failure. Failure means when you get, what is failure? It's if I don't get the job I want, okay, well, let's go. Let's go to the next opportunity. So enjoy the process, align yourself with great people, and go let it rip.
Thank you, everyone.
All right, thank you.
Rolling.